tokenization, and you have the agentic economy. And that is what's most popping in crypto right now. Meme season, layer one season, alt season, NFT season, all of that right now is out the window. What we got popping is tokenization, and we have agentic economy, which deals in and with stable coins. Ondo Stocks is a platform that brings exposure to traditional public securities on chain with tokens that are freely transferable and usable in DeFi, subject to certain jurisdictional restrictions, obviously. But the list here is crazy. Nike, Apple, Microsoft, MasterCard, Uber, PayPal, Visa, Coinbase, Intel, the list goes on. Obviously, they say we're going to tokenize every large cap and mid cap stock. So you got tokenized stocks, Wall Street liquidity, global access, traditional market liquidity, blockchain accessibility, verified, secured, enforced. Ondo has all of the partnerships. Ondo is in position, and they've been doing this for a while. They're backed by BlackRock, Franklin Templeton, all of the big names in the industry. I do like Ondo. I definitely like what Ondo is doing here. When it comes to tokenized stocks, they're clearly the leader. Ondo is clearly the leader. Like I said, they've been at it. They're in position. They are proving themselves. Ondo Finance is definitely for people outside the United States and for big institutions. So Ondo tokenized stocks, available 24/7, transferable, DeFi compatible, easy access, clear asset backing, strong investor protections, enforceable redemption rights, instant mint and redemption, traditional exchange liquidity. These things matter for users and institutions. Then you got other tokenized stocks. You see the X's there. Not a lot of protection, not that enforceable. And then you got traditional brokers, which is like Charles Schwab, Robinhood, right? Fidelity, not available 24/7. You can't transfer, not DeFi compatible, and it's definitely not easy access. That's what they're changing. And then you have the future portfolios is on chain. This is trading on chain in a crypto wallet. That's pretty dope. So that's a narrative that is being pushed, right? That narrative is pushed on the next level. That is what Wall Street and these big institutions are really enjoying right now. And it's obviously catching the world by storm. If we go look here, we're going to walk you through a few different, let me fix this here. I'm going to walk you through a few different platforms. And then I'm definitely, like I said, I'm going to bring this back to Algorand because I think it deserves to be shared. Let's see. Did I lose it? Oh, there it goes. All right, there we go. All right, so let's bring it back to Ondo real quick. Where I had a screen for y'all. Let me see. Let's see. Let me bring it back. There we go. Tokenized stocks. That's what I wanted to show you. So tokenized stocks has become very popular. So right now, explore tokenized public equities, including listed stocks and ETFs issued natively on-chain or represented synthetically. Right now, you got 1.2 million holders. This is updated from 30 days ago, or up from 30 days ago, 111%. Monthly active addresses, 500,000 plus. Transfer volume, 22 billion. And then you have a diluted value of 2.43 billion. But the real number here is the monthly active addresses and the holders. And you can see, excuse me, from January 2025, it's only up and up and up. More people are tapping in. And then Ondo, like I said, is definitely leading right now, and it's leading big. Here's the platforms: Securitize, B stocks, and then here's the blockchains networks that they're on. You got Solana, you got Ethereum, you got you know, Algorand, you have BNB, you have all of that. But what I really want to show you, which to tie it back to Algorand, which I thought was very dope, is that Algorand is in position. Algorand is the first ever New York Stock Exchange listed stock to be tokenized on the Algorand blockchain. The first ever. Algorand did it first. Exodus is now live on RWA XYZ. Algorand did it first. And here's the asset ID. You can verify it in the Para wallet. That's crazy. And this is the same platform I just pulled up, Exodus, early in the game. And if we go back to that platform, obviously, you can see Algorand right here. Exodus movement, and the platform is securitized. So Ondo has its own platform, Figure, B stocks, but they partner with blockchains, Solana, Avalanche, Mantle, Inc., Hyper EVM, BNB Chain, Arbitrum, Algorand, as I said, and Provenance. That's pretty dope. It is taken off. And then since it's been so popular, you had someone else join the picture as well. That's been big. This is Robinhood. Robinhood, the brokerage account for millennials and whatnot, has jumped into the tokenization game, and they released a blockchain called Robinhood Chain. You can essentially get tokenized stocks there because Robinhood has stocks. It was an easy transition for them. So they want to compete against the blockchain portion, which is the Ondos, the Ethereums, the Algorands, but they also are supporting their platform, Robinhood. It's a big connection here, but as I was telling y'all, the narrative that is really popping right now is tokenization. I like Ondo, I like Robinhood, and I like Algorand, right? Check this out. So you have Algorand leads tokenized stock surge with 66% market share. And this story is from July of 2025. So this story is not accurate as of anymore, but just to show you how early Algorand was on this and is on this still. And I think that's pretty dope. I like to keep my eyes on them, obviously, right? So let me play y'all a couple clips just to give y'all more info on the narrative of tokenization. This is from Ondo Finance. Let's play it from one of the leaders here.
But now every single crypto exchange, they look at Robinhood, they look at all the others, they want to offer stocks and other related wealth management products. That's why I think you've also seen such a big surge in tokenized stocks, because for a lot of these crypto exchanges, particularly the offshore ones, it was significantly easier to start offering stocks in tokenized form than it was in normal form, right?
Sure.
You could have your existing custody systems, your normal accounting systems, keep your markets open 24/7, and do the settlement in stable coins. That's all the stuff that a tokenized stock would enable that a normal stock would not. So they all started listing tokenized stocks, typically powered by Ondo. And there are no easy ways to really offer proper wealth management products that a lot of the asset managers have developed over time. Take JP Morgan private wealth, right? You need $10 million minimum balance or something to have an account there. But once you do, all of a sudden you have access to a bunch of these model portfolios, right? Model portfolios that BlackRock has designed, or that Vanguard has designed for these wealthy individuals. There's no real reason why mass retail should not be able to have access to these things, but just historically, given the TradFi cost structure, they were limited only to the very select few. But I think the company that can first start to crack into that market and compose these products, compose these model portfolios and tokenize them and offer them to a broader retail audience, and then have that integrated experience in a way that makes sense, those I think really are going to be the winners of the everything app race. For Ondo, the role really is, building out the infrastructure so that they can offer any and all of these products, while also building out our own offering in parallel that we can offer to our own end investors. But now,
so essentially he said we're cooking up. And what he's really talking about is this here, the everything app. That's what Coinbase is trying to do. If you ever looked at the app recently, Coinbase allows you to purchase tokenized stocks. It allows you to purchase cryptocurrencies. It allows you to trade futures. You can take out loans on the app. You can earn interest on USDC, earn yields on your cryptos. That's what they mean by the everything app. Coinbase has also launched Base blockchain, and then they launched the Base app, which was formerly known as the Coinbase wallet. It even has a social media feature there. They mixing everything together right now, y'all. Robinhood has Robinhood for millennials, right? And they're working on getting customers with higher value amounts of portfolios. Traditionally, people go to the Fidelities and the Charles Schwabs, the E-Trades when they have bigger bags. Robinhood wants some of that too. They also then dropped Robinhood Chain, which is a Arbitrum clone, essentially, Ethereum EVM compatible. They also want to move into the everything app, everything platform, loans, credit cards, banking. Same with Coinbase, right? Ondo, obviously, as you break it down, says they're essentially doing the same thing, but they definitely tackle higher net worth individuals and platforms like JP Morgan.